Hi everyone, this is just a quick recording to be able to give you some more information about the amazing options that we have available for you to choose from the science department in Lamwern at the sixth form. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about studying A-level biology and some of the highlights of the course, what it can lead to, what careers and degrees you could study with A-levels in biology. However, if you are interested in a science option at sixth form and you're not sure which one to choose, then please make sure that you watch all of the videos to be able to make the most informed decision. And if you have any questions, I've put some email addresses of who you can contact for more information about the course. So if I present my screen, you should be able to see here that I've created a small presentation about A-level biology. So this is a full A-level provided by WJC in biology. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some key information about the course. So the first thing that I suppose is really important is that if you are considering taking biology at A-level, then it is important to consider that the minimum requirement to join the course would be to have a B grade in GCSE biology. Okay, that would be in triple, or a B grade in science from higher tier papers. Now, I know that you're not sitting the exams, but it's based on, what you were going to be sitting. So if you're currently completing assessments in your class, are you, completing stuff that's related to higher tier, and your classroom teacher will be able to answer that. And you should have at least a C grade in English and maths. That is really important for biology, as there are a small amount of calculations that you need to be able to make in the A level, and you do need to sort of answer quite extended responses with some really, really technical language. So it would require at least a C grade in English or maths, but it would be preferable to have a B grade and above in all of those. Okay, so a minimum of a B in biology, okay, but at least a C in English and maths. Now, how is it assessed? So you will sit 2 exams in year 12, which is what will go towards your AS level. So you do get a qualification at the end of year 12. You get an AS level that you can cash in, okay, and that means that you could discontinue your study at the end of year 12 if you've got enough other qualifications that you're taking at that time to continue with, okay, or you can progress on to year 13 where you'll complete a further 2 exams and a practical assessment, which will give you your full, what we call A2 level, so your full A level in biology for all 4 exams and the practical assessment. The teachers of the course for biology are Miss Griffiths and Miss Simons. So if you are interested in biology, they may be the best people to speak to. In terms of the course content, then, these are the units that you will complete. So as I said before, you've got 2 units that are completed in year 12. They are units 1 and 2, and they are AS units. And we have 2 units exams that you complete in year 13, which is unit 3 and 4. And you also complete the practical assessment, which is worth 10%. Okay, so in the first unit, you'll study a lot about biochemistry and cell organization. So you will learn a lot more in detail about cells and their makeup and some of the chemicals that are involved in some of these cells and for biology. In unit 2, you'll learn a lot more about biodiversity, which you've studied again at GCSE, but you'll study it in a lot more detail. And certainly the physiology of body systems. So you'll start looking at certain organ systems and parts of the body there. You will learn about energy, homeostasis, and the environment. So you'll be looking at how things, remain constant through homeostasis and, and energy in the environment as well. In Unit 4, you'll study about variation, inheritance, and you will also have options. So there's an optional topic that you complete at the end of Unit 4, which you can choose depending on your interest, and the class will potentially decide what option will be studied there. Now, variation inheritance is obviously to do with DNA and to do with how certain characteristics can be inherited. But it will be studying that in a lot more detail, looking at how DNA and RNA work there. Again, I'm not the biology specialist, and please speak to Miss Simons or Miss Griffiths if you want any specific detail given to you. Some of the highlights about the course for A-level biology is you will be studying, as I just sort of outlined, some really interesting topics and some really new topics for you. As you can see here, this is an animal cell, but it's got a lot more organelles or cell parts than you would have done at GCSE. You only really studied a very simplified version at GCSE, so you'll really understand the inner workings of living things in a lot more detail if you study this course at A level. The next thing that I'd like to sort of point out is that we do go on an annual trip, which is the Science in Health Live, which is at Cardiff University Hospital, which is the Heath Hospital. And every year, except for obviously due to the pandemic, we've been able to visit the hospital, and they put on a really big event for you to be able to, this is a former pupil here using the anti-gravity treadmill, and they show some of the amazing equipment that's used in hospitals now, and they show you through a few different parts of the hospital, and you get to get a few freebies, and you get to complete a quiz, and you just get a feel for what a medical career could potentially be like. And then one of the main things, I guess, that you're probably thinking about now as you're choosing your options is, what are the further study and career opportunities? Where could this take you? Now that you've, coming towards the end of your GCSEs, where do you want to go in the future? And the great thing about A-level sciences and biology as well is that they unlock a huge number of opportunities for you to study further at university. It could be that you maybe want to go into full medicine, biomedical science. You might want to go into maybe something that's not related specifically to biology, or you could go into conservation and looking at animals and the environment. So many different fields that you can go down with an A-level in biology. The last thing I'd like to point out as a highlight is that you will be completing a lot more practical and experimental biology when you study it at A level, as you will have a smaller class. You will have access to completing practicals in smaller groups, and you'll be using a lot more specialist equipment that's just not viable to do at GCSE and before that. So you'll be using a lot more sophisticated equipment that we have, and we obviously have brilliant facilities and some amazing equipment in the science department for you to use for different aspects of practical biology. So a little bit more in detail about the further study and career opportunities. Now, this is not exclusive that these are the only degrees that you could study with A-level biology, because it always depends on what your full package of qualifications are. If you're studying A-level biology, chemistry, physics, and maths, then you'll have loads of different options depending on which is your passion and which one you want to go down. But specifically to biology, the main ones are biomedical sciences, biochemistry, dentistry, medicine, nursing, environmental science, as I said before, potentially forensic science, geology, pharmacy, pharmacology, physiotherapy, sports science, veterinary science. Lots of these are very popular degrees that students can go on to with a good A-level in biology. Okay, and that obviously leads to careers that are directly related to that. But this is a link here where you can have a look at what you could do with a biology degree. So many different job options, really exciting ones, marine biologist, microbiologist, nature conservation officer, pharmacologist, all sorts of different ones. Your degree would also be useful in pathology, dentistry, a science writer, all sorts of different careers, zoologists. There's so many different jobs that you could go down with an A-level in biology and all of the sciences, which you might spot at the top here, that they can form a very, very, lucrative package when applying to university. But obviously, as you can see with lots of these careers, they are difficult, and the A levels in science are difficult. And I wouldn't lie to you and say anything otherwise. A level biology is a difficult A level. Okay, it does require a lot of study. There are a lot of concepts to learn. and you really need to understand it and work hard to be able to achieve those top grades in A-level sciences. So you need to be really passionate and very serious about your A-levels if you're considering taking the sciences. And just remember to watch all of the videos that I do for these, just in case you find that maybe biology isn't for you, but you may consider that you want to study BTEC Applied Science Level 3, which has a bit of biology, chemistry, and physics in it, but has less exam demand. Okay, if you have got further questions, you can always email me. But the main people to ask specific to biology would be to email Miss Griffiths at ogriffiths@lamwenhigh.org, or Miss Simons, which is ssimons@lamwenhigh.org. They are the two biologists in the school that I would contact if you have any specific questions. Thank you.